Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you this Zhiyun Smooth 5S gimbal. This is designed for your typical phone. For me, it will be the iPhone. It looks exactly like in the photo right here. Now I have done the unboxing and first use video for the Smooth 5 that was beginning of this year. And now they come out with the 5S. Basically have all the function that the previous model has, plus a more refined software. And it has a built-in light. And as you can see, I got loads of stuff here on the table. My go-to is the Zhiyun, same company, the Zhiyun Smooth Q3. Now this one is just simple, put the phone on and it should work. It does have a selfie light on it, but it lacks a lot of functions, like it doesn't have a dial on the side for zooming and other function. And then I got loads of these like sticks that hold on to your phone if you need to, but if you want butter smooth video, a gimbal is the way to go. Now there is 2-axle gimbal and there's 3-axle gimbal. This one here is kind of top of the range and it has 3 motors individually to stabilize your phone. So I'm going to open this, show you guys what your money can buy. This one here at the moment in the UK, you can get it for about £165 or $165 in that sense. Pound is really weak at the moment. And this is Christmas 2022. The design of the box and the packaging looks really similar to the previous generation, or previous model, shall I say. Alright, so a single page of your instruction, and then you got your thicker manual which go more in depth into how to use this product. In the box, you got different compartments. This one here will be the tripod. Now, I love gimbal for quite a few different reasons. For example, my main camera is the one that I'm shooting with right now, and you guys are looking from it. And this is my Canon EOS R, which is a heavy DSLR camera, and it's sitting on a gimbal which permanently attached to that camera. If I want to change angle, I just put it down, it stay down, and I put it back up, it stay up. So it just add that function to your tripod. And if I want to pick it up and move it about, I don't need to worry about attaching gimbal or anything else. So here we are. I mean, in terms of size, I'm pretty sure this is not any smaller than your previous gimbal. But to be able to have a uprated motors and the battery, it does have to be a certain size. For example, if you look at this tool here, this is the entry-level gimbal, this is the professional range gimbal, and you look at that, in terms of size-wise, it's not that much different. A bit chunkier, but actually, me being 6'1" and big hands, I do like a big chunky grip rather than the thinner version of that. Anyway, so tripod feet go onto the end of these like that, and then you just screw it on. And you can hold on to it to give you a slightly longer reach if you need to. And you got your USB cable, and this is a USB-C cable, and you use this to charge this particular gimbal with any USB socket or outlet. It feels really lightweight. Good rubberized handle, so it's non-slip. Plastic body. Oh, the wheel. Just enough resistance to make sure it doesn't overshoot easily. Button on the side, button in the front. Everything can be controlled with one hand. Okay, you got your Chinese logo on the side here, Zhiyun. So there's a charging port right on top of your handle here where you plug in your USB-C to charge it. Let's try it. Oh, there it is. Here in the studio light is probably a bit too bright, so I won't be able to see it. But when you plug it in to charge, the mode, which is like, you know, the PF, LF logo, it kind of lights up in sequence to show you that the energy is flowing into the battery. All the motors are locked. This is for safety reason, to stop it from like banging about and twisting. So there's a button on the back right here to unlock the first XL. Now this kind of gimbal is a 360 motor on the underneath. That means that it's freely rotate. This is very important if you want to do raw text, that kind of a video, so the motor can spin your camera 360. Some of the gimbal kind of turn and halfway it will stop, but this one here is 360. So that's one here. The next axle is a click lock. Ooh, I hear the click. That is just to lock the slider, but to unlock it, I think you just push it through. Yeah, so you got a plastic kind of a hinge stopper right there. At the moment it kind of locks it in place, but if you push it hard enough, it will unlock that axle for you. And the final one here, the same concept, you just twist it and it comes off. So now all 3 axle is movable. And one last joint that you can unlock is the actual clamp itself. So you can rotate this one to accommodate a portrait kind of length or sideways kind of length. And the clamp has put my phone in place. Okay, so I'm using an iPhone 12 Pro, and with this phone I have a silicone kind of a case on, so it's slightly thicker than your iPhone 12 and it grips perfectly. On the clamp itself, this rubber strip, you actually have a camera icon with an arrow pointing to it, so actually it tells you where the lens is going, so the lens has to go through that direction. To use this gimbal correctly, in fact to use any gimbal correctly, you do have to balance the gimbal. And a lot of my previous video, people were asking like, oh, can you show a bit more of how do you balance the gimbal? Now basically you want the motor to have the less resistance when holding your phone in a certain position. That means that the natural resting position should be like how you would hold your camera. For example, at the moment this side is heavier, that's why it's tilted that way. So all you need to do is move the sliders to balance it. So here you got a turn knob, so you just turn that and you push it away from the heavy end, and now it's a bit too heavy on this side. So you find the right balance by moving the slider. So now it's kind of want to stay in the middle, then you twist and lock that in place. If I'm going to keep this gimbal and use it for my own use, what I usually do is I'll put use a marker to draw a line. If I'm not going to change my phone, if I do need to put this back in my pocket, I need to move the slider, all I need to do is move it to that correct position, and then you don't need to worry about having to sensitively hand balance it. The other one is the tilt. At the moment, it's not too bad. But let's say if you have a heavier phone and it wants to tilt a certain way, then usually you have to move the whole clamp up and down. For example, if I move this up, you can see that it's way top heavy. So all you need to do is just slide the phone up. If you just focus on my phone here, if I just push it, the whole clamp kind of move up. And then now that way it's too heavy and this is kind of push it back down. So all you need to do is just move it up and down until it doesn't take much effort to keep it in place. You don't want it always to come back to the same position like facing forward. You just want it to be the least amount of resistance. The good thing about the gimbal nowadays is the motor usually specs to be stronger than the heaviest phone that they can hold. So there is a list of phones that is compatible. Being the latest gimbal on the market, it should fit all phones in the market right now. So I'm tempted to just turn it on right now. So without reading the menu. So power button on the side right here, usually press and hold. Yep, something is happening. All right, so almost instant. And that's it. It is now balancing my phone. One of the things that you can do to test to make sure your phone is well balanced and the motor is all working is listen to any whining noise. Usually when the motor is under stress, beyond the specs, you will hear a kind of vibration or humming noise. Sometimes you won't notice until you start doing video, and then the resulting video will have like a buzzing noise or a frequency noise, which is really irritating. So you got the joystick which control the movement of the head, up, down, left, right, for example. The app is called Cami, and you can see right here, this is on App Store. I'm just going to open it. You have to give it permission to allow it to do certain thing, agree. And it already found the gimbal because it gives me a notification. Okay, what you can see here is the interface for the Cami. So this actually control everything of your kind of like a So this is like a video or camera app for your iPhone. Obviously, I'm using iPhone 12 Pro, and the wheel now is a magnifying control, so I can zoom in and zoom out. Obviously, this will be limited by your phone. After a certain range, it will be digitally enhanced, and then you will lose like definition of your video will degrade. But the iPhone does have a little bit of optical zoom that you can play with, and this brings the possibility of like walking in but zooming in at the same time, or walking in and zooming out. That kind of effect on the video, which is quite popular right now. A lot of other function like you can control your you can do all the camera setting. You can change all the camera setting from here if you are into that kind of menu stuff. I'm just going to stick with auto for now. Hand gesture, you can like do a things that it can recognize to start recording, for example. So for example, if you want to do a vortex kind of a video, all you need to do is press the mode like 4 times press and hold it, press and hold it, press it to switch the mode to the vortex mode. And for example, if I now start to record on my iPhone, and I use the fire button, which is right here. So now that I'm recording, all I need to do is put my thumb on the joystick and press it to one direction. And what it will do is it will rotate the phone. And you can still zoom in and zoom out with the joystick rolling, with the joy wheel, maybe call it, is it? With the wheel on the side, you can zoom and zoom out, and you can obviously you can walk as well. So for example, I'm just going to keep my thumb on it so it keeps spinning, but you still have options of zooming, so you can zoom in and zoom out as well. Now you have to be careful with this kind of shots, because the camera is not that center, so it does have that little bit of a throwing you off the 360, but it's good enough. Alright, so to test the stability of the gimbal, stabilization in the iPhone 12 is switched off or is not on at the moment, and you can see I am kind of shaking it a lot more than your normal kind of a shooting thing. The video should still be smooth enough for your daily use. If I use the joystick to move it around as well, try to keep my movement smooth, panning across. Okay, now the up and down movement is kind of locked. So what I will do is I change to a different mode. Let me lock it back into original position. This is follow mode. Now if I point it down or point it up, it will allow me to do so, but give me a bit of a buffer so it doesn't have that jerky movement. And then now, even the tilting is allowed. So we'll follow my tilt as well. And up and down. So this is really useful if you are doing a tour of a room, for example. Rather than use the joystick to control up and down, you just point at whatever that you want to shoot. So basically, this function is just stabilization on all axle. And at this point, I'm going to just turn it off now. So this is something I find quite amusing with the Zhiyun or ZY Cami app. For example, for now, it's on auto. And try not to shake the table too much because it kind of like affects the video. But let's say I turn on the beautify function. Yeah, for example, if I click on beautify or Glamour Effect, now it's on auto. This is not me. But obviously it looks so much better than me. To the extent that I look plastic, this looks like an alien. And if I turn it off, oh my god, turn it back on. So this is what you see on the internet a lot with TikTok videos and stuff like that. So this is called Glamour Effect. This is on auto at the moment, so everything is auto. And you can turn it off. And you can turn on different things. So you want to slimmer your face. And if you want to smooth out your skin. This one is just crazy. You make your eyes look bigger so it looks like an alien. Lighten your skin. My skin is it yellow? Yeah. But anyway, so if you do want to look like an alien, all you need to do is just press auto and it turns you into alien. Fantastic, right? Well, leave it in the comment down below if you want me to be like this here or just the original 4K format, which is like that. Thank you very much for watching. I can't wait to see you next time with more interesting gadgets. Bye bye.